community. My name is Jennifer Sanders, and tonight I would like to speak to you about the power of love. Recently I was taking a marriage and family counseling class, and during that class I spoke to several family members and friends regarding the subject of love. As I listened to their answers, both positive and negative, I realized that the power of love not only affects you emotionally, but it affects your physical health as well. During the minutes to follow, I would like to tell you how the power of love can change your life and why it's not only from a biblical perspective, but how it shapes and impacts our lives and is a vital role in our mental and physical health too. During my research, I discovered Dr. Ella McGrath, who is consistently rated one of America's outstanding psychologists with over 25 years experience. She is regarded as a master coach to company executives, and is an experienced life coach to individuals as well. In Psychology Today, Dr. McGrath says the power of love is critical for your mind and body as oxygen. It's not negotiable. Dr. McGrath is the author of 5 books on stress and depression management and a full-time faculty member at 2 medical schools for the last 14 years. Dr. McGrath is also used her psychology expertise on the Good Morning America program and also on ABC's 2020 News program. Dr. McGrath says that the more connected you are, the healthier you will be, both physically and emotionally, because the less connected you are, the more you're at risk. It is also true the less love you have, the more depression you're likely to experience in your life. Because one of the most common sources of depression is feeling unloved. Because depressed people don't love themselves and don't feel loved by others. They are very self-focused, making them less attractive to others, depriving them of opportunities to learn the skills of love. There is a mythology in our culture today that love just happens. As a result, the depressed sit around often passively waiting for someone to love them. Most of our ideas of love come from pop culture. We have come to believe that love is something that just happened and sweeps you off your feet. But pop culture's idea of love consists of unrealistic images for entertainment purposes, like the reality shows The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, which is one of the reasons why so many people are depressed. They find that this is a way of love when it's not. It's just infatuation. It is not only possible but necessary to change one's approach to love to help ward off depression. And studies have shown by ABC's News Health, it shows that love is also good for your heart too. They believe that the more you love, the love that you feel, the lightness in your heart may be your blood pressure dropping. Also, this report shows that when you're with your spouse or partner, your blood pressure does lower slightly. Also, there's a report from Washington, D.C.-based National Institute of the Media. It took a look on relationships between health behavior and found that the intimate relationships tended to add years to one's life. So now I guess you're wondering, how do we develop in this power of love? Is it even possible? Well, the answer to that is yes. If you follow these actions by Dr. McGrath to get to know what you want out of life, out of love, and to be loved in return. First, you must recognize the difference between limerence and love. Limerence is a psychological status of deep infatuation. It feels good but rarely lasts. Limerence is the first stage of mad attraction where all the hormones are ranging and everything feels just right, but it only lasts about 6 months. It doesn't always evolve into love because it's just limerence. Secondly, know that love is a skill, not something that just comes from hormones or emotions particularly, because Erich Fromm, a German social and human psychologist, called it an act of will. He believes if you don't learn the skills of love, that you will be eventually guaranteed depression. And you will, not only because you're not connected, because you would have experienced many failed experiences. Thirdly, according to Dr. McGrath, we must learn good communication skills. There are means to you to develop into trust and to intensify connections. The more you communicate, the less depressed you are like to be, because you will feel known and understood. And finally, after reading Dr. McGrath's finding on the power of love, I agree that there are always core differences between two people. No matter how good or close you feel, the relationship is going fine. The differences will surface. The issue is not to identify the differences, but to negotiate them and not kill the relationship in return. When the differences are known, you will be able to negotiate them and compromise on them and find a common ground that will work for the both of you. The more that you can focus on others and learn to respond and meet the needs of others, the better you're going to do in love. And as a Christian, I can't forget to mention that the power of love is God's greatest gift to mankind. I have come to discover that they're not only necessary from a biblical perspective, but these tools can help you develop in your emotional and physical health as well. I hope this speech helps you realize that the power of love can affect you emotionally, physically, and spiritually. In my final part of my presentation, I would like to show you some visual images of the power of love. It affects families, it affects friends, it affects love of animals, and most of all, it affects God. Good evening, and God bless you.